This is the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Hello and welcome to News Hour Live on TV. I am Francis Barnard. Coming up in this edition of the news, more ambassadors and high commissioners appointed by President Julius Maada Bio officially take their leave for diplomatic duties. The 9th consecutive meeting between the African Union's Peace and Security Council and the United Nations Security Council ends in New York. And the CEO and founder of MEPS Trust Fund and the Well Woman Clinic disclosed the inclusion of free cervical cancer screening among their breast cancer awareness raising activities. These stories and more in this edition of the News Broadcast Live on TV. It's News Hour Live on TV. You stay with us for the next 1 hour for more exciting stories. We start this afternoon as the 9th consultative meeting between the African Union's Peace and Security Council and the United Nations Security Council has ended in New York. Sierra Leone's ambassador to Ethiopia and the African Union, Howard Safar, spoke on the importance of women in the promotion and security in Africa, which was one of the thematic issues that were being discussed by both organizations. Ambassador Howard Safar said it's encouraging to note the progress that has been made by the global community as a whole, but that there is a need for further work to be done. He said as the global community continues to grapple with multifaceted challenges related to conflict, violent extremism, climate change, and pandemic, where there was imperative need to tackle head-on such structures like patriarchal attitudes to present significant challenges to women's rights and participation. Ambassador Safar assured the conference that the AU was committed to promoting women's participation in the peace and security agenda and in Africa's overall development. This, he said, was demonstrated in the organization's policy formulation and allocation of resources, human, institutional, and financial towards attaining gender equality and women's empowerment as a critical goal and strategy in the realization of Aspiration 6 of Agenda 2063, which recognizes the centrality of women in Africa's development. These efforts also drive the achievement of the goals set out in the UN Security Council Resolution 1325, further advancing women's agenda in peace and security architecture. Other agenda items that formed the basis of the joint consultative meeting included the implementation of Security Council Resolution 2719 dealing with the funding of peace support operations in Africa, children affected by armed conflict in Africa, the adverse effect of climate change in Africa, and the operationalization of joint working methods between the AU Peace and Security Council and the UN Security Council. And in another diplomatic development, a cross-session of African Diplomatic Corps in Ankara, Turkey, has welcomed Sierra Leone's ambassador-designate to Turkey, Dr. Frances Virginia Anderson, at the Esboga Airport. Talking on behalf of the Dean of the ADC, Ambassador of the Republic of Uganda to Turkey, Nsu Tapiru, welcomed Ambassador Anderson, saying that they were excited to have her in their midst and that the ADC works to project the interest of the African agenda in Turkey. Sierra Leone's ambassador to Turkey, Dr. Frances Virginia Anderson, appreciated the ADC and described their service to Africa as exceptional representation. She thanked the staff of the Embassy of Sierra Leone in Ankara, noting that the spirit of cooperation displayed at a welcome gathering was inspiring. And now Jennifer Rihanna Thomas, the CEO and founder of MEPS, the Melvin Edith Patricia Stewart Trust Fund, and the Well Woman Clinic, has disclosed in Freetown that the Well Woman Clinic is effectively incorporating cervical cancer into its programs with full medical treatment utilizing the Gene Expert machine and HPV testing tools. She was speaking during the family walk, run and cycle breast cancer awareness raising at the Freetown Golf Club, Lumley Beach in Freetown. Harold William was there and in a report.
Run and
Hundreds of men and women, including school children, politicians, cyclists, bankers, health workers, and business people, joined the Well Woman Clinic for the breast cancer awareness campaign with the theme Early Detection Saves Lives. The family walk, run, and cycle focuses on hope for a cure, strength to survive, love and support for victims and survivors of breast cancer, and the need for a networking system to provide full treatment on breast cancer in the country. Funding partners like NRA, Africell, GT Bank, Rokel Commercial Bank, Sonoco, Slbc, PKF, and others committed themselves to creating the awareness that Sierra Leoneans, including men and women, should do regular checkups, which will help curb new cases of breast cancer. It was noted that cancer is a global pandemic and that the government of Sierra Leone should lay more emphasis on breast cancer because women are more vulnerable.
You know, breast cancer, I mean, it's a killer. And for now, even Well Woman Clinic, you do not have a radiology machine. So we need to fix those things. And we need to have better health care in Sierra Leone, particularly to support women.
The CEO and founder of the Well Woman Clinic, MEPS Trust Fund, Jennifer Renner Thomas, said the Family Walk, Run and Cycle Breast Cancer Awareness is an annual breast cancer event held every October, teaching people how to examine their breasts. She noted that if it is detected earlier, breast cancer can be healed, and although they have 3/4 of the necessary equipment, they have no MRI and limited mammogram access that can catch cancer at 0 stage. The Well Woman Clinic, she said, is advocating for a mammogram, which is being supported with 50% of the cost from benefactors in the USA. Jennifer Renner Thomas noted that by the time they arrive at 20 years of operations in 2026, they would have had the mammogram, noting that sponsored walks like this will help raise funds and support breast cancer patients, for which they spend hundreds of thousands of leones annually on diagnosis and treatment. The CEO and founder disclosed that apart from a breast cancer screening and treatment, they also provide antenatal and maternal health for pregnant women with support from the government of Sierra Leone and Rotary Club, including STI treatment. The campaign on breast cancer has been nationwide, and soon they will be in Bo District for cervical cancer screening and awareness raising with emphasis on community engagement. The campaign aims at mass collaboration and networking to provide full treatment in radiotherapy and chemotherapy, breaking the barriers around breast cancer in the country. The distribution of prizes to the winners of the Family Walk, Run and Cycle and the cutting of cake for the Well Women Clinic operations accrediting support from partners climaxed the breast cancer awareness raising at the Lumley Beach Club, Freetown Golf Club.
Prior to the notice to government through the Ministry of Health urging for an improvement to their conditions of services, 3 weeks ago, the Sierra Leone Medical and Dental Association have said that they will commence an indefinite strike action beginning on Wednesday, 23rd October 2024 for with immediate effect since their request has not been adhered to. They made this announcement in the presence of pressmen and other dignitaries at the Connaught Hospital in Freetown. Aminata Fofana was there and she filed in this report.
It's a reminder that the ultimatum expires on the 22nd. We are still waiting for feedback from the ministry. We have not gotten one yet, and they should be reminded that on the 22nd the ultimatum expires. And if we are not engaged, we go with the initial action, which was to embark on a sit-down flight when one ultimatum expires.
This decision came following many engagements the association has held with the duty bearers in the health sector to provide them with fuel, housing, medical and other allowances entitled to them. The aggrieved doctors from various government hospitals gathered under one roof to express their dismay over what they described as negligence on the part of government and made it crystal clear that within 48 hours they will resort to an indefinite strike action.
If I had been told that the Ministry of Health will not call us for negotiation last week, after we sent that last message, I would never have believed that. You know, I was even supposed to have traveled to go last week, but I cancelled it because I was expecting that the ministry was going to call us to engage us on this issue so that we have a solution after they saw that message. That didn't happen.
Welfare chairperson of the association, Dr. Valerie Cole, said about 8% of the medication to patients is administered by the junior doctors, making them integral contributors to saving lives in the medical field. She said what they received as salary is not commensurate to their service, and this is discouraging professionalism in the medical field. Dr. Cole stated that their quarterly provisions hardly come by and some doctors only rely on external resources to sustain their homes. But the junior doctors, she went on, spend majority of their time abandoning their homes to treat patients.
Asking for, it is a requirement, 45 liters per week. Okay, you now say you're giving us as per quarter, but it's not been coming regularly. We are 8,200. So coming with the fear, it can help. So we are calling on the public, not that we really want to strike. It is not, in fact, you're thinking, how will our patients cope? Yes, we love our patients, but then we have to put ourselves first.
The executive noted that they had held discussions with the Ministry of Health on several occasions to address their concerns, considering the major impact on patients if they went on with the strike action, to which they never wanted to resort. In a room filled with medical doctors, one by one they expressed their concerns, which, if not addressed by government with immediate effect, will put the lives of many citizens at stake. Slbc News, Aminata Fofana.
As part of its initiative to transform Freetown, the mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, in partnership with other key environmental stakeholders, has begun planting exercise of 3,500 mangrove sticks in the Ojuku, in the outskirts of Freetown. Our reporter Aminata Saisi was with the team and she now reports.
In an effort to combat deforestation, flooding, and other major environmental threats to human and environment, a significant step is on the way by the Freetown City Council through sustainability and community development. The mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, in collaboration with various stakeholders, recently joined in the planting of 3,500 mangrove seeds at Ojuku in the eastern of Freetown. This initiative builds on a prior achievement of around 18,714 seedlings, reflecting Freetown the Three Towns' commitment to restoring vital coastal ecosystems. Yvonne Akisoya said the mangroves planting is part of the Freetown City restoration.
By creating an inventory of trees which we can then market on the carbon market and get investors from outside of the country, mangroves as well as trees on dry land.
Yal Mami Sise, a community chief, pledged her support to the tree planting.
The community people for anybody they say and I decide for say for the time coil they no agree. because we monitor for let them not put there, let them not cut the play because you know it's beneficial thing for we the community people.
The mayor emphasized the importance of mangroves, noting how their preservation can lead to employment opportunities for youths and especially young women in the slum communities. Slbc News are in Freetown. I'm Nata Saise reporting.
In a bid to address accommodation challenges faced by pilgrims during the time of Hajj, Sierra Leoneans abroad are currently constructing a Burhan Mosque in Lungi, which is expected to accommodate over 1,000 worshippers. The project also includes construction of a Hajj village and an Islamic learning center. Mohammed Kouma has the story.
The ongoing construction of Burhan Mosque in Lungi by some Sierra Leoneans abroad is meant to address accommodation challenges faced by Hajj pilgrims every year. The mosque is expected to accommodate over 1,000 pilgrims to enable them to have a conducive environment before making their way to and from Hajj. Chief Executive Officer and Project Manager, Burhan Mosque Project, Sheikh Ali Badara Kamara, was pleased with the work done so far, adding that the project also caters for the construction of a Hajj village and an Islamic learning center, which will commence immediately after the completion of the mosque.
Our intention started from 2023, which is to start up the project, to launch the project with a huge masjid of 145 feet, 100 feet wide. So after the masjid, inshallah ta'ala, we have a great intention with the help of Allah Azza wa Jal to build a Hajj village. As we know, people are going through struggles during the time of Hajj season, and inshallah ta'ala, the Hajj village will come with the learning center for educational purpose.
Sheikh Ali Badara Kamara said that the mosque would also be of benefit to the Freetown International Airport as it is being constructed adjacent it.
We are calling upon the Muslims around the world, especially Sierra Leoneans. Why am I saying especially Sierra Leoneans? 99.9% of the help that we received so far are from the brothers from overseas, Sierra Leoneans and non-Sierra Leoneans. So we're asking Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone to get involved because this masjid is literally established here in Freetown, Lungi, Sierra Leone.
Both the young and the elderly demonstrated commitment to assist in the construction process, ensuring that the project succeeds. Upon the completion of the project, it is anticipated that Hajj pilgrims would have suitable accommodation that would facilitate their journey and help ease burden on government. For SLBC, Mohamed Kouma reporting.
Well, from Lungi, we now move over to Moyamba district, where Ribi village in the Moyamba district is currently faced with pressing challenges that are impacting the quality of life of its residents. The village is deprived of many basic facilities, including proper toilets and access to clean water and health care. Education in the village is also suffering due to shortage of schools, forcing children to travel long distance to attend schools. Our intern reporter Aminat Bangura went to the village and compiled this report, read in our studios by Alice Cecilia Sise.
Ribi village is facing urgent development challenges that threaten the quality of life of its residents. It is not only suffering from limited access to clean drinking water, education is also a problem. King Dauda Kurma said she has to walk about 3 miles daily to the other village because there is no school at Ribi, her own village. The 15-year-old called on government to construct a secondary school in her village to save them from going far away to attend school, walking far distance to attend school.
We wake up early every morning to avoid being late for school. We have to walk 3 miles to school because we don't have a secondary school in this community.
The village is also crippled by the lack of proper toilet and health.
Fortizo Technologies, pioneered by Alex David Pratt, has emerged the grand champion, the Da Vinci Pitch Night and Hackathon contest by Christex Foundation to walk home with a star prize of $3,000 United States dollars. According to the founder of Christex Foundation, Colin Ogu, the foundation was looking forward to building a thriving tech ecosystem which was open to collaborate with other MDs in expanding the digital space. Dennis Fraser reports.
The scene depicts a remarkable moment of wild emotions as the Fortizo Technologies team announced the grand champion of the Da Vinci Pitch Night and Hackathon contest. Earlier on, the team and a host of other young people who were standing up to societal challenges not only presented brilliant ideas as solutions, but were poised to take them head-on with innovation and technical competence.
Healthcare providers can seamlessly access the health histories of the patients.
Eat for me. I'm not saying he wouldn't have died, but at least he would have gotten some funds to further.
Participants were also tasked to leverage on societal problems with their innovative problem-solving ideas and also through a network of like minds. After being tested and proven, this in turn will attract bankable reward.
We thank God. Yes, God made it happen because apart from our efforts, if it's not for His help, there were other more brilliant ideas, but I believe God was the one who just really helped us out. And the first is a no-code chatbot builder. That is to say, a platform that helps you to create a chatbot that you could be able to use for your business.
According to the founder of Christex Foundation, Colin Ogu, a young Sierra Leonean striving to give hope to young people through investment in innovation and the use of modern technology trends. His intention was to build a thriving tech ecosystem driven by young people in the country. He expressed aspirations to collaborate with other MDs in embracing the digital space.
We spent time at university, spent money, but now to go into the world and earn money from what they've studied, the chances are slim. Have worked with other communities, have worked with parts of the government of Sierra Leone. So the organization you mentioned, we actually do work quite closely with them. Mokti is another one that we work quite closely with. So I'm more of an open book. I'm willing to help.
Youth hackathons create environments where young voices are heard and valued, resulting in products and solutions that resonate deeply with software engineering, blockchain technology, product design, and many more. The participants do not only develop innovative ideas, but also gain valuable skills in problem solving and collaboration. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
Well, this is news coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. If you are just joining us, you keep watching your public broadcaster as we bring you more stories. Some consumers and business people have shared their experiences when purchasing products. While some said they always check the expiration date before buying, others admitted they don't often due to certain circumstances. Our intern Esther Nenekama filed the following report, read in the studios by Mohamed Kouma.
The sale and consumption of expired products pose significant risks to both public health and economic stability. Expired goods, particularly in the food, pharmaceuticals items, and personal cosmetics industries, can cause serious hazardous health issues, including food poisoning, allergic reactions, infections, and vomiting. While consumers are the most affected by the sale of expired products, some don't bother to check expiration dates when purchasing items. Issa Samura shared that he once bought expired products, and after consuming them, he experienced illness. Since then, they should always check expiration dates before making a purchase.
Whosoever they go buy, especially then canned food them, whatsoever, something then the max expiring dates. But therefore read and watch, no say this particular thing, so like watch for the expiring dates. Then if you notice say the thing don't expire, now you write for let you report to the person where you bound. So you say show them and you advise her, let say not sell that.
Bianca Molai said that she always check for dates before purchasing an item, whereas Amidou and Sumana admitted that he rarely checked because the dates are sometimes wiped off or difficult to read.
some biscuits wey buy wey e expire. Wey why you see the expiring date. So like when you open and they try for scatter, so you go know say this don't expire. So like I can throw like them syrup there. Wey watch you see say this the time when I be put say this and the expiring date. When the time which can expire. So like what you watch, I can just oversight or I can left hand or throw away.
Like me so president and they watch the because why they get us something like wafer, especially they around when you see them yesterday. The question is wafer they keep the people are there. So no matter when they don't pull they go below. Either expire or no, you know expire.
Business owners also shared their struggle, explaining that selling expired products can severely damage a business's reputation. Some pointed out that when purchasing stock, they are sometimes rushed by shop owners, leading to mistakes.
We get most of them people and whether they come back with goods who they sell, because so they go buy to the Lebanese them. And then Lebanese when they go buy to in fact, so they go the camera they attend you safe. They treat you like a trash on top of your money.
Yeah, because the last market where I go buy not be watching. So I carry it and before ever I put it on my table, I look the date to expire from right now 2024. So the thing will expire 2021 where the person will sell and give me. But not be look the date. So I come now watch the date. I see say they expire. I put them back inside the plastic, I return them back to the person about it.
Both consumers and business people emphasize the importance of checking expiration dates before buying any item.
How are they do? They buy small. Like when you come, if you ask me for Pinoplex, I get. If you ask me for Ferroglobin, I get. If you ask me for Dexorange, I get. I don't get a large quantity, small. Because when you come, you meet her at the shop. Because if you buy a large quantity, you not sell, now losses for you, the business owner.
Addressing the issue of expired products requires strict regulations, improved stock management practices, and greater consumer awareness. Implementing these measures will help protect consumers and ensure that businesses operate ethically and responsibly.
This is News Hour coming to you live on the SLBC. We continue with more stories. 175 years ago, a beacon of faith was born in the heart of Freetown, known as Christ Church Parish, Bademba Road, Freetown. In commemoration of the celebration, a Thanksgiving service was held at the church premises on the theme, "One generation shall praise your works unto another." This is to celebrate God's faithfulness in a unique way and express thanks and appreciation for bringing them thus far. Our intern, Esther Susanette Bassi, was part of the service and she filed in this report, read in the studios by Christina Kamara.
Christ Church Parish was founded on the 10th October in the year 1849. It has served as a cornerstone for the Freetown Anglican Communion. It has historical records of providing divine guidance for its community and the nation. The Thanksgiving service was preceded by a march past with members dressed in colorful uniform attires. The celebration was graced by well-wishers and members from different circuits to support fundraising activities. The ceremony also saw the unveiling of the newly completed Christ Church Hall, dedicated by the head of the Anglican Church, Bishop Thomas Wilson. The chairperson of the 175th Anniversary Committee, Austina Pierce, recounted the journey towards the success of the anniversary.
We thank God as a church and as a family for this celebration. The journey has not been easy. When you think about the constraints in the country and all that we've been through as a nation and also as a church, whatever happens in the nation, who creeps into the church. So we struggled as a church to have great success. But we want to thank God because in all of this, the finger of God was upon this celebration. And today, the climax, we want to say thank you to the Father, to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
Vicar Warden Emeritus Davison Peters John, who is also the past president of the Committee of Gentlemen of the Church, highlighted achievements made over the years.
Over the years, I've tried to improve this church spiritually.
we have also been able to look at the properties of the church and also to improve the properties of the church, of which the hall is a testimony to what we have been doing. And these are all good indicators in the church. And we have been taking care well of our clergymen. As you see, the new car is being commissioned for the vicar to use for the service of the church. So as a church, it has constantly been improved over the years.
This 175 years of existence is a testament of the faith and resilience of the Anglican Communion.
And on a sad note, the mortal remains of former newsreader and announcer of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation and Service, Charles Kanu, has been laid to rest. A well-attended funeral service at the Bethesda West African Methodist Church is a testament of his human touch and service to his church. Charles served in various capacities at the West African Methodist Church, where he displayed dedication to duty. He contributed immensely towards the growth and development of the West African Methodist Men's Organization, Bethesda, Progressive Group, Youth Fellowship, and Men's League, among others. At the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC, Charles Kanu could be remembered for his knack in news delivery and presentation of public service announcements. He was also an employee of the Ministry of Finance, where he recently promoted in the store's development. Charles Kanu would be missed by his wife and children. In an effort to empower young girls with public speaking skills, the Patriotic Advocacy Network Sierra Leone and partners have conducted a public speaking event for over 70 school-going girls from different schools in the Western area. The program, which took place at the Multipurpose Hall at Sierra College, was geared towards empowering girls in building a shared future. Our reporter Christiana Kamara was there. Well, sorry, we cannot bring you that story now, but it will be up in our next news bulletin. We go back to one of our stories that we are unable to bring to you. Ribi village in Mwamba district is currently faced with pressing challenges that are impacting the quality of life of its residents. The village is deprived of many basic facilities, including proper toilets and access to clean water and health care. Education in the village is also suffering due to the shortage of schools, forcing children to travel long distance to attend schools. Our intern reporter Aminata Bangura went to the village and compiled this report, read in the studios by Cecilia Sisi.
Ribi village is facing urgent development challenges that threaten the quality of life of its residents. It is not only suffering from limited access to clean drinking water, education is also a problem. King Dauda Kurma said she has to walk about 3 miles daily to the other village because there is no school at Ribi, her own village. The 15-year-old called on government to construct a secondary school in her village to save them from going far away to attend school, walking far distance to attend school.
We wake up early every morning to avoid being late for school. We have to walk 3 miles to school because we don't have a secondary school in this community.
The village is also crippled by the lack of proper toilet and healthcare facilities, leaving many of its people exposed to health risks. Local chief King Dauda Kurma said since there is no hospital in the village, they have to go to the nearest village anytime there is an emergency.
We have been trying to develop this community but have not been able to succeed because we lack the materials to make us grow. I'm calling on government to help us with healthcare facilities and schools.
Local leaders are urgently calling for investment in infrastructure and essential services to address these critical needs and improve living conditions in the village.
Well, from that story, we now go to the international scene and find out the stories making the headlines.
Hello, welcome to the international news summary on news. Coming up, the United Nations Environment Program reports that the planet is facing its most significant loss of life since the time of the dinosaurs, with approximately 1 million species of plants and animals currently at risk of extinction. Global environmental leaders convened on Monday in Cali, Colombia, to evaluate the declining biodiversity worldwide and the pledges made by nations to safeguard plants, animals, and essential habitats. Eva Zerbi, Executive Director of the Coalition Business for Nature, while calling for a shift from establishing targets to implementing tangible actions in the field, said the Biodiversity Conference, the COP16, comes at an absolutely critical moment for us to move from targets setting to real actions on the ground. The agreement outlines 23 actions aimed at stopping and reversing the decline of nature, which includes protecting 30% of the Earth's surface and 30% of damaged ecosystems by 2030. According to Linda Grusha, Director of Biodiversity at the Nature Conservancy, all evidence indicates a significant decrease in both the abundance and distribution of species. During her opening remarks on Sunday, Susana Muhammad, Colombia's Environment Minister and COP16 President, stated that the conference presents a chance to gather insight from various civilizations, cultures, and knowledge throughout history. A search and rescue operation off the coast of the eastern Greek island of Samos has recovered the bodies of 2 people reported missing overnight after a boat carrying 24 migrants ran into trouble in the rough weather, the Coast Guard said on Monday. Authorities said they received a distress call from the passengers on the vessel, and a Coast Guard patrol boat located the vessel semi-submerged north of Samos. 22 people were rescued and survivors alerted the Coast Guard of the 2 missing passengers. The bodies of the missing 1 man and a woman were recovered in the early hours on Monday, the Coast Guard said. The sinking is the latest deadly incident involving migrants trying to make their way into the European Union using the sea routes either from the nearby Turkish coast or across the Mediterranean from North Africa. Shocking footage showed the apartment block in Kahawa West reduced to rubble after it abruptly collapsed. In a statement, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sagacha said the households in the affected building had been issued an evacuation notice last week by the County Planning Department. The Kenyan Red Cross said Sunday that 2 people have been rescued and taken to Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital. 2 adjacent buildings have exhibited signs of structural failures and tenants have been evacuated. Although the edifice had been condemned and tenants ordered to vacate, it is feared some may not have found an alternative place and might have been still inside. In a statement, the National Construction Authority said the building owner was directed to provide a structural integrity report, but the structure collapsed before this was done. Housing is in high demand in Nairobi, and unscrupulous developers often bypass regulations, leading to a history of building collapses in the Kenyan capital. According to the United Nations data, more than half of the population in Sudan, some 25.6 million people, are in high levels of acute hunger or worse. Free kitchens or takias in war-ravaged Sudan are now facing shortage of funds and supplies as fighting continues to rage around the capital of Khartoum. The prolonged conflict between the Sudanese army and its rival, the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group, has lasted for more than a year. It has caused severe damage to agricultural production, one of the country's pillar industries, resulting in a continued deterioration of the food security situation. The capital Khartoum and its surrounding cities of North Khartoum and Omdurman are among the most intense conflict areas, now with about 5 million residents trapped in the war zone. Most of these people have lost sources of income, but the prices of food and daily necessities have soared several times higher than before the conflict. In addition to fleeing from airstrikes, shelling and gun battles, people are also facing difficulties such as water and power outages, as well as food shortage. Well, that's all in the international news summary. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.
Well, from the entertainment desk, from the international desk, I beg your pardon, we now go to the entertainment desk.
Hello and welcome to in this edition of Entertainment News. 2024 Chinese Cultural and Experience Events leaves Matili International School pupils in gazing stage. Sandwiched featuring Peter Komba is out. The 2024 Chinese Cultural Showcase and Experience event at Matili International School was a lead. It was a fire show. Of course, the pupils of Matili International School were left gazing at the different performances and activities. The event was organized by the Confucius Institute, USL. Let's share the experience as Suleiman Babatouye gives us the update.
The event was creamed up with mind-sparking and soul-moving performances like flute playing, Chinese tree-picking dance, the dragon dance, martial arts, and others. The principal of Matili International School, Safa Thomas Damba, and the Confucius Institute director, Shen Shui Bin, both mentioned how special this shared experience is for both the institutions.
For the primary school students here, it's been fantastic to see how much interest and enthusiasm the students have shown. And we're excited to expand on that by introducing Chinese classes for the junior classes students, along with martial arts classes.
At this intersection, it is therefore concluded that both Matili International School and Confucius Institute at Fube College, University of Sierra Leone, are moving at the same avenue, same wavelength and frequency when it comes to education.
It was not just about learning the language, but also about learning martial arts and calligraphy, among others. The pupils were indeed moved by both the language and the culture. Among them was Hannah Toure, a pupil in Form 6 who speaks the Chinese language fluently. Hannah spoke about how important the Mandarin language is and urged her colleagues to learn the language.
Ba, so ba, 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 ba. We can say ba, the fourth sound means father, but ba is like to make. So different meanings, different contexts, confusing.
The highlight of the event got the pupils excited. It was a fulfilled day, sharing the experience and having a good time as they looked forward to learning the language.
From displaying spectacular acting in romantic movies, Peter Komba has once again showed fans that he could also put smiles on their faces with his comic skills. The acting star was featured in a recent dramatic movie titled Sandwiched. He starred alongside Nigerian and Ghanaian stars like Clinton Joshua, Enoch Dako, aka What's a Bombshell, Precious Akeze, and many more. The movie is out, available on YouTube and other social media handles, and in just a day, the movie has gotten over 500k views on YouTube. Fans, of course, are decorating social media with pleasing comments in appreciation of Peter's performance and for representing Sierra Leone well. Kudos to Peter Komba, continue to represent Sierra Leone well. Well, that's all we have for this edition of Entertainment News. I am Christiana Kamara.
Many thanks to Christiana Kamara for putting the entertainment news together. Well, away from entertainment, we now find out the latest in the world of sports with Esther Marie Samura.
Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Sport Update on News. I am a presenter, Esther Marie Samuel. In this edition of the Sport News, the Executive Committee of the Sierra Leone Police Sport Unit has unveiled the newly built clubhouse for the women's side. The unveiling took place over the weekend where 5 bedrooms were given to the female players. Here's the report.
This 5-bedroom structure will house these players of the Sierra Leone Police women football team as they were challenged with accommodation in Freetown. Chairman of the Sierra Leone Police Sports Unit, Martin, said upon getting information about the constraints faced by the players, especially those from other countries, he decided to team up with his executive and facilitated the construction of this structure to host players and lessen their accommodation constraints.
Our female team, especially the sports units, have gone through constraints in terms of clubhouse, especially for residential players and players that are coming from other angles to come and support the SLP, especially the sports unit. So because of these constraints, and we as executive members of the Sierra Leone Sports Unit, we have thought it that we should build a clubhouse for them so that whenever a player comes in, we reside in this place and make sure they support the club. And make sure we put a monitoring about it so that it will be sustainable for the SLP, not only for them that are there, but also for the SLP as a whole.
President of the Police Wives Association, who also doubles as team manager of the Sierra Leone Police women's football team, Matilda Doriselu said she was happy for such move by the executive, noting that the structure would give a facelift to the club. According to her, the clubhouse was a testament of the hard work of the executive of the sports committee.
For them to have a playhouse or a play club for them to where they can stay is actually a big step, and is a great achievement so far for what we've done for them. We are hoping for the cup this year. That is one big thing we are hoping for, to show that yes, we are there for them, we can support them in any way they want. So the next thing we want to make sure we have the cup this time.
The newly signed players were also unveiled to strengthen the squad ahead of the new league season.